Hi guys, my name is Pai.
And my name is Nam.
We come from Langford High School in Nason District and Hanwha Province. Today, we're gonna talk about an issue of the most concerned over the past few days, racism. And now, let's get started.
Fighting racism has been a hard issue for a long time, but in the past week, this problem has been hard again. In the US, there have been a series of protests and riots on the issue of racism against the supremacy of the whites.
There have been many sad stories about racism. Recently, public opinion and the online community have been bargaining about the fact that a Vietnamese American man has taught a Westerner a lesson of racist action. On the 263 United flight from New Orleans to LA, he was accompanied by a foreign passenger, sitting behind him by habit of beating medicine, an Asian cultural custom, with a stigmatizing saying, "Stupid Asian culture." Anger was still retaining composure. He used legitimate civil right to give the foreign guest a memorable lesson.
Do you still remember the 1968 Olympic Summer Olympics was remembered all over the world by one of the shocking events of the sport village then, liberating of Black Power. On the morning of October 16, 1968, at the 200-meter track and field event, African-American athlete Pete Tommy Smith set a new world record with a record of the 19.83 seconds. Later, he was an Australian athlete Peter Norman and his compatriot John Carlos stepped onto the podium to receive the award. All three athletes were wearing jackets bearing the Olympic Project's Human Rights Project (OPHR), especially Tommy Young, both without shoes, wearing black glove, black sock, black scarf, symbolizing their skin color. For impoverished black press worker, exploited and killed. When the American national anthem rang out, we congratulate Champion Tommy. Both the athletes raised their feet into the sky until the end of the song. Upon leaving the podium, both Tommy and John were booed by the audience and crowd. At that time, Tommy said, "If I win, people will say I'm American. But if today I lose, they will say I'm African American. We're black and take pride in our skin color. African American will understand what we've done tonight."
Tommy and Joe's action later shocked the world. At that time, they were excluded from the Olympic for being criticized by many, even family and relatives threatened to kill. The first of these, the fate of these two characters then gradually fell into oblivion over time. So, what is racism and how do you deal with it?
Racism is often defined as a belief or doctrine that the inherent biological difference between different races of mankind determine personal development achievement, with the consequence that his brain, they're more trusted and have the right to rule other races. Racism has often big consequences like discrimination or suicide. Racism has been used to justify discrimination and violence in our society, including genocide. There are many ways we can avoid or fight racism, but to our mind, these are the simplest and most easily understood.
The first, understand that you are not overreacting. Similar to harassment, treason, and often unintentional racist act, known as small attack, may not seem like the big deal to others, but if this behavior disturbs you, you must be prevented. Studies show that black people suffer daily racial loss, but the people who commit such act almost deny they have done wrong or that they actually result from prejudice. This can make black people feel like they are imagining things or worried that when they speak up, the things they have been through will be denied and deemed unfounded.
The second, give up. When you are subject to minor aggression or some form of racial hatred one clearly, hurt your needs first. You can choose to live. You have no obligation to try to understand and contact such a person. As a victim of racism, you are under no obligation to correct the person who attacked you. Engaging in conversation about racism will only make you tired and sad, not to mention it is really hard work. Why do you just live? But if you want to try to understand and contact the person who is at fault, you can also choose the option.
Thus, ordinary issue in words or manner. Instead of accusing someone of being racist, posting a reader breakfast style friend, point out exactly why his or her behavior or would matter. For example, instead of saying you insult others, say that would offend Asian. By using that phrase instead of him to divert focus from the attacker to the word.
The fourth, straightforward with friends. You will never apply to self or fight racism just to avoid friction with your friends. It is only wrong to be racist, and you have the right to speak up. If you think someone is behaving in a racist manner, point out why that behavior is problematic. You can choose the approach. Understand that people tend to fluff the defense when criticized, so the more skillful you are, the easier they will be able to absorb your comments.
There are many ways to respond to gifts, and you need to choose how you respond to personality, how are your relationship with person or thought. You can reach out by saying, I've heard when people say or do that. Talking about your feelings will make people less roughly sounding friends than straight. Criticizing what they do, but this approach also makes them feel less responsible for the behavior, which in the long run is not the right strategy. A more direct approach is to say, you shouldn't say that or do that. It offends people this way because that approach lets people know that their behavior is hurting and they should stop.
Finally, know your rights. If you suffer a racial discrimination at work or in public, you may have certain legal rights. In the United States, state and federal law oppose racism, notably the Civil Rights of the 1964. In the United States, you can contact a lawyer specializing in civil rights or workplace rights if racism has deprived your home, your work, your safety, or any other job freedoms. Most states have very strict reports of discrimination. And so, make sure you contact an attorney immediately. If you want to sue, but you can pay for a lawyer, don't worry. There are many human rights organizations that can help you. In the United States, consider contacting the South American Polar Research Center State Center or the Defamation Prevention Committee.
Racism increasingly brings pain.
Even though dealing with the racist behavior is mild, but it can also be very dangerous for you. So be smart and handle clever situation for an earth of peace and equality.
We have finished our presentation.
See you in the next presentation. We will continue to talk about this topic.
Goodbye.
And see you soon.